Hi, my name is Katerina, and I've been on a health journey since January 2020. I've recently had gastric bypass back in December 22nd, 2022, and I want to share my journey with you. So if you're here, stick around. I'm going to tell you all about my 2-month post-op gastric bypass RNY surgery and my updates. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On this channel, we talk about everything to do with gastric bypass RNY surgery and my experience with it. If you're a returning person, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate the love and the support. I am super happy to have a community to talk to about this. Going through a weight loss journey and most importantly, a health journey is a struggle sometimes, and it's nice to have a community that you can talk to and exchange with to share experiences and get help and hints from. So stick around. Today I'm going to talk about my 2-month post-op gastric bypass results, and I want to share some experience with you as well. Let's start off with the most obvious. So I got my paper here, I have my notes. Let me tell you what it's all about. So I have officially now lost 102.3 pounds from the moment I started this health journey. That was back in January 2020. I lost a total of 72.3 pounds before gastric bypass and a total of 30 pounds even after gastric bypass. Very, very excited. If you haven't checked out my other videos, I think I spent the day crying the moment that I lost the full 100 pounds. It's been quite a journey, but I feel extremely hopeful with the rest of my health journey because I still have about another 100 pounds to lose or close to, and I don't feel overwhelmed anymore because I know I was able to do it, right? So we're moving forward with a lot of enthusiasm and eagerness to accomplish my next goals. So, like I said, I've been doing this since January 2020. I've lost a lot of weight before surgery. And then because I wanted to move things forward, I am a diabetic and I do suffer with a thyroid problem. So I was losing weight very slowly. And to move things forward and to get my diabetes more under control, I decided to have gastric bypass, which I don't regret. I am extremely, extremely grateful to have been able to do that. And I wish I had done it way sooner. I wish I had done it at least 15 years earlier. To give you my stats, I am 44 years old. I used to be 5'10", but now that I've lost some weight, I'm 5'9", so apparently I've lost also an inch of height. Today, as of today, after 2 months post-op, I weigh exactly 253.7. And I'm gonna go ahead and do like a little tour so you can see my full body because I want to capture this as a time frame for me to look back on and just to document this journey. So let me just go ahead and pause this and show you my full body. Right, let's go and try to get the whole body in. Let me give you my measurements as well. Okay, so when I first started, I measured my neck, my waist, my right arm, my left arm, and my hips. So I'm gonna continue doing this on a monthly basis just so I can see what the progress is. So when I first started this journey, my neck measured 17 inches. It is now down to 16 inches. In fact, I've lost some of the neck rolls and I could see some collarbones here, some neck bones here as well. So that's just with 1 inch lost. My waist was originally at 52 3/4. It is now down to 47, which is really exciting. I had pants that didn't fit me. I had bought them online. They never fit, and now they're actually loose on me, which is really exciting. My right arm was at 14. It's now at 13.5. My left arm was at 15. It's now at 14 inches. And finally, my hips is where I lost the most amount of weight so far. My hips were originally at 56 inches and they're now at 51 inches. So That is super exciting. That is with a total of 30 pounds lost after gastric bypass. And that's a lot of inches. That's a lot of inches. My clothes feel completely different on me, and I have so much more mobility. I'm able to put on my shoes without like running out of breath. I'm actually able to put on my shoes without sitting down, which is incredible. Yeah, so that's my stats. So I've been sharing my weight loss journey and my health journey from the moment I decided to have gastric bypass and I was approved. So I have a whole bunch of footage that you can check out here on YouTube as well. And I also share my journey on TikTok and on Instagram and a little bit more about my life. So if you're curious, I go under the same name, This to That Life. I have taken a couple of notes here on things I want to discuss now that I'm 2 months post-op. So we're going to talk about my intake, so what I currently eat and how it's been moving forward, the foods that I eat, the vitamins that I take. I'm going to talk about also blood tests. I do blood tests every 3 months just to stay on track and make sure that I'm not vitamin deficient. And then we're going to talk about what's the way the clothes fit and exercise. All right, so the first month was a struggle. I'll link the video up somewhere here to show you how it was for the first month. However, I think one of the exceptions because I was able to move through the food phases very, very quickly. I was consuming solid food within the first month. So I started off with obviously liquid diet, and then we moved on to pureed foods, soft foods, and then harder foods. So far, I've been able to tolerate absolutely almost everything I put in my mouth, which is a bit scary. Just because, you know, I can actually have things that I shouldn't have, right? And of course, the way that I am, I've tried everything. I did have a little bit of dumping syndrome when it came to raw onions, so I try to stay away from that. But apart from that, I've been able to consume everything. I'm gonna go ahead and show you a couple of things that I have here that I'm consuming now 2 months post-op, and hopefully it'll help you. I'm having no problem getting my protein in. I am struggling a little bit with water, which is crazy to say because as a diabetic, I used to jug water. When I tell you that I was able to finish this here in one shot, I had no issue. And now I carry this around all day long and I have a hard time drinking it. So I don't know what happened with that. I am having a hard time with my liquids. However, I consume my water and I consume also black coffee. I've always liked black coffee. I know for some people that is gross, but I love black coffee. And another thing that you can do is put in protein shakes in your coffee so you can get your proteins in. So let me show you what I'm talking about. My favorite protein shake is Fairlife protein. It's got 30 grams of protein in it, and it literally tastes like chocolate milk. I absolutely love it. And this was also a lifesaver for me prior to the surgery when we had to be on a strict liquid diet. I had a really hard time with the suggestions that my surgeon had given me, and this saved my life. So protein shakes, this is the one I highly recommend. They're a bit hard to get get on. I buy them at Costco, but at my Costco they always run out, so sometimes I have to drive 2 hours to a different city to go get them, but definitely worth it. What I do is I put it with my coffee. I put it inside my coffee. It's like a pro coffee, protein and coffee at the same time. It tastes amazing. And if you like cold coffee, put a whole bunch of ice in there. It's like having a dessert. It's fantastic. Another way that I get my liquids in is with G0. I also get that from Costco. So it tastes great. It tastes just like juice. It's very refreshing. So definitely get your hands on this as well. I'll show you a couple of snacks. Now, because of the restriction, your main priority is to consume your proteins. So get your proteins in, get your liquids in. But if you have like a craving for a particular junk food, there are alternatives. So for me, I was able to find a couple of things that really have helped me with this journey. Let me show you what they are. All right, I have in front of me a whole bunch of snacks that I use, and I just want to say these are just suggestions. Of course, you should be talking to your own dietitian. But I struggled with a food addiction for a very, very, very long time, and if I wasn't able to consume these, I would probably derail. So I'll tell you what I consume, and hopefully you can leave me some suggestions on other things. So first things off, I went and I bought, and I put them in a Ziploc bag, but high protein instant oats. Super easy. You just mix it with just boiling water, or you can mix it also with almond milk, and it's high in protein, so that's a great breakfast for me. Or also, if I have the need to eat something sweet, I'll go for this rather than going for a bar of chocolates. You know what I mean? So having this handy for me has saved me on many occasions. Talking about that, I do have a very sweet tooth. I am diabetic, so I shouldn't be eating sweets. So alternatives. I found this, and it's got 3 grams of protein for 12 of these little candies. They're very low in calorie too. They're only 90 calories. They taste great. It's they have peanuts inside. So I bought myself this. Works for me. Doesn't spike my sugars either. Something else I bought that I love is the Quest bars. I got the oatmeal chocolate chip one. It's got 20 grams of protein in the entire bar. I usually just eat half, and then I have the other half later on in the day. I can't eat it in one sitting. It's quite heavy, I find. And then I got this one here, chocolate chip cookie dough one. Super tasty. Same thing, I eat it half. And this one has 21 grams of protein. So love that. If I'm ever in a bind, because I do travel a lot by car, if I'm ever in a bind, I'll usually just stop by a convenience store and pick up Atkins bars. So Atkins bars, you can find these at convenience stores, Walmart, most grocery stores as well. So I picked that up. This one is 13 grams of protein, and it's the cookies and cream one. Like it. More junk food. Chips. Chips has been my downfall, and yeah, so I needed chips. So chips it is with the brand Quest. They have these tortilla style protein chips. This entire bag is 140 calories, and it's got a total of 19 grams of protein. And also it's very, very low in carbs. So again, this is great for me, especially being diabetic, and it helps me get my protein in and not have that guilty feeling of eating something that I shouldn't have been eating. Let's move on to something else. I found this. It's called Flat Out Protein Up. They're like flatbreads, and each one of them has a total of 10 grams of protein. So what I do is I'll use a full one and put meat inside and lettuce and make a nice sandwich, and I'll split it in two. So I'll have it for lunch and for supper. If not, what I do is I use half and I make myself a nice breakfast wrap. So scrambled eggs with lots of vegetables in it, and put that in here. It's fantastic and it's high in protein. So this is fantastic. It was a great find. Something else that I snack on, you're probably gonna think it's weird, but it's so tasty. I buy this brand of Greek yogurt. This one here has 8 grams of protein per serving. That's 3/4 of a cup, 210 calories. So it is higher in calories. It's very, very filling. And I put maple syrup on it. This one is 0 calories maple syrup. It's sugar-free, and it's got like 1 gram of carbs in it. So this is not something that I eat every day, but if you have a sweet tooth like I do, these are things that really help. I also use this brand. So this one is the Steve's Maple. It's called Steve Maple, and it's sugar-free maple syrup. I also use it with this. I make my own pancakes or waffles with this. Now this here is for half a cup that you use is 210 calories and it's got 18 grams of protein. It's amazing. So yeah, so if you're looking to make pancakes or if you're looking to make waffles, this is a great brand. It's called Prolicious Protein Pancake Mix. Or find any protein pancake mix that you might have in your grocery store. And if you have that sugar craving, go for something that is a little bit higher in protein, less in sugar and carbs. And finally, the final thing I want to show you that I found at Costco for pasta lovers is this. This here is only 30 calories for half a cup of pasta. This is not real pasta. This is actually, it's a spaghetti squash noodles. It's fantastic. It's already packaged here, easy to cook, very easy. If you're like really hungry and you don't know what to eat, pour some spaghetti sauce on it. I usually put like meat in my spaghetti sauce so it's higher in protein. This here is 1 gram of protein, very low in carbs. It's only 3 net carbs and 30 calories. So you can't go wrong with this. Found this at Costco. It's a great find. Alright, so I shared a couple of the things that I eat right now 2 months post-op gastric bypass. Let's talk about other foods that I make, right? So I usually will cook a whole bunch of soup. And I like lentil soup. I love lentil soup. I absolutely love lentil soup. And I do a lot of like bean soup because they're high in protein as well and a little bit lower in carbs, and they're very filling. And now it's winter time, it's really cold outside, so let me show you what I've been cooking. This here is lentil soup. I cook it Greek style. It's called fakies. That's right, you heard right. It's called fakies in Greek. It's so tasty. It's lentils with pieces of tomatoes, onions, there's garlic in there, there's bay leaves. It's the tastiest thing ever. It's so high in protein, so high in iron. And this right here has absolutely been amazing, especially with this crazy cold winter weather that you see out there. I make a full pot of it and I consume it like within a week, right? So I will eat this morning, noon, and night for a full week. I absolutely love it. If there's anything I cannot live without is lentil soup. So that is fantastic. I absolutely love it. It goes down great. I've never had any issues consuming it. I usually don't have it in a bowl. I usually put it in a mug and I just sip it that way. So something else that I would strongly suggest is if you have a Costco membership, go and buy the already cooked roast chicken. It's already cooked. It's a nice, tasty roasted chicken. And you can make yourself either like sandwiches with it, like with that wrap that I just showed you, or just eat the chicken on its own. It's high in protein, right? And if you want to get your protein in, sometimes you'll just eat boring food just to get your protein in. And that's okay, especially in the first beginning of your journey after gastric bypass. Sometimes you just got to get your protein in, and it's not always fun. But you can definitely do it. I showed you a couple of the snacks because I'm a big snacker when it comes to eating foods, but I want to make sure that they're high in protein. But just eating raw chicken, chicken from Costco, cooked obviously, but just plain old chicken, or chicken slices, turkey slices, whatever you can do to get your protein in. Also, cheese. I eat cheese all the time. Cheese, right? Because you gotta get your protein in. All right, let's move on to vitamins. So you know that it's essential. I assume if you're here watching my video, it's because you're either thinking of having gastric bypass, or you've recently had it, or you've had it and you're just curious to see how other people are dealing with it. I have been taking vitamins for a very long time. I've been taking multivitamins for about 15 years. So for me, it wasn't a big change, right? But for some people, it's a lot having to all of a sudden start consuming pills, and how do you organize them? So I'll show you what I do, because not only do I have to take multivitamins now that I've had the gastric bypass to make sure that I'm not nutrient deficient, but also I am diabetic and I have a thyroid problem, so I have to take pills. So what I ended up buying, and I bought this on Amazon, it's a pill organizer, and it's great because it goes with the dates and it comes off from the holder here and it slides off, and I have 4 different departments, right? So this morning I already took them. When I'm gonna have lunch, I'll take this, and then later on in the day take this, and then at nighttime I take this. So that's how I organize my pills. I'll show you what I take. So first and foremost, my vitamin that I decided to go on is the Paravita Refresh. This is the one I take now that I've had the gastric bypass. It's a multivitamin and it's very inclusive. It's got everything that I need. It's been approved by my surgeon. It's been approved by my registered nurse as well. So I've been taking this. But with this, I'm also taking other pills. So I'm taking more calcium. Now I don't need to, because they told me that this was enough. But I take calcium just because I'm a woman. I'm 44 years old. I just want to make sure that I don't end up with, osteoporosis or any deficiencies when it comes to calcium. So I take this here. It's sugar-free. It's a liquid form. It doesn't taste bad at all. Just one little sip here and it's fine. I also take more vitamin C. I live in a cold country. I live in Canada, right? You saw it's really cold outside. It's a blanket of white snow. So I don't get much vitamin C from the sun. So this for me is essential. And even though it's already in here, I just take more just because of my life situation and circumstances. I take vitamin D3s as well. I take one of these as well a day. I buy this brand, Jameson. I also had a stroke a long time ago when I was 27. So just as a preventative measure, I do take a baby aspirin every day just to make sure that I never have another stroke again, right? So unfortunately, with my health complications, there's a lot of pills I have to take, but I don't have a problem with that. I would rather do what I have to do to be healthy and take any measure that I have to take to stay healthy, right? And finally, the last vitamin that I take is vitamin B12. I take vitamin B12 as well. The rest of my medication is for my thyroid and my diabetes. What I am really glad to say is I used to be on injectables for diabetes. I used to take insulin for diabetes. At my highest weight of 356, I used to take 400 units of insulin. It's crazy. To say the least. 400 units of insulin. Not only is it extremely expensive, and it just my health was so bad. Anyways, I'm proud to say that right now I am down to only 1 pill a day for my diabetes. My glucose, my sugars are doing so much better. The food that I'm consuming is really helping. So trying to stay low carbs, high protein has really helped me. Now, you might ask yourself this, because I ask myself this. Why did I have gastric bypass if I was able to lose 72 pounds prior to my surgery, right? At 356, I had to lose about 200 pounds to go to a normal weight. And that number to me was just scary, overwhelming. Like, I did not think that I could do it, right? But I did. I made some small changes in my life and tried to increase my activity, but I was in so much pain. Carrying that weight on my body was torture. It was very painful. Like, everything hurt. Everything. The things that you didn't know could hurt. But yeah, I made small changes in my diet. I tried to just move a little more, and slowly, in a matter of 3 years, it took 3 years to lose 72 pounds. But during that time, weight loss journey, I was having conversations with my doctor, and I was, telling them that I need to move things along. and they did suggest that I have gastric bypass. And it was something that I had thought about for a long time as well. So I finally made the decision to push forward and do it just to speed things along. And I'm super grateful, super happy to have done it. So for those of you who are thinking of having gastric bypass, it's a choice, it's a personal choice. And I think that you can do it. I mean, you can do it, and I've done it and I feel great and I'm happy that I've done it. But just know that you can also do this without the surgery. If you're scared of surgery, you don't need to have surgery, right? You can do it. And these are little hints that I'm trying to share with you is if you're able to kind of make small changes in your life. So you can still eat your chips, but try to have Quest chips. They taste great. They're higher in protein, lower in carbs, right? So making small changes like that, eventually in the long run, there will be results. And if you're looking to lose weight without surgery, those are little hints that you could do. And start moving a little bit more, right? I had a hard time. I would go outside to walk around my neighborhood, and not only would I be like in pain, severe pain, we're talking about my lower back would hurt so bad, I'd take like 10 steps and have to stop. It was very painful, but I had to push on through. And more you did it, the easier it became. So I have this channel to share my weight loss journey, but for me it's more like a health journey. And no matter which step you take, whether you go through surgery, whether you go through it the natural way, it doesn't matter. Whatever steps you take to get to a better health, that's all that matters, right? If you want to be healthy and you want to be happy in your body and more confident, but more healthy to live better, right? Then you take whatever steps you have to take to get there. I remember when I was younger, like in my 20s, I was never a thin person, you know? But there was a time I was a lot thinner than 356, of course. And I was healthy, even though I was considered, my BMI was considered overweight. I was healthy. I didn't have any diseases. I didn't have anything, right? And then as time goes on, you gain more weight. You start becoming less active, especially, working in an office and so forth. And my health just started to deteriorate, and you don't notice it. When you're just going through your everyday life, you don't notice it. And if you're surrounded by people that don't tell you, right? Like my husband never once told me that, hey, you're putting on weight. And maybe I wish he had, but I love him for the fact that he didn't. But anyways, nobody ever told me. And of course I knew, but you wear tights, you don't realize that you're moving up in size. Anyways, no excuse. I'm just saying that sometimes you don't realize, and you just all of a sudden wake up 100 pounds heavier and you don't know how you got there. And that number is overwhelming. And for me, it was 200 pounds overweight. And that number was overwhelming. But I'm here to say, now that I've lost 100 pounds, right? I've lost 102.3 pounds so far, that yeah, you can do it. And now that I know that, I have that much more to lose, I'm not depressed about it. I'm not overwhelmed about it, because I know I can do it just by making tiny little changes. So if you're watching my channel because you're thinking of having surgery, go for it. Go for it for sure. I mean, but do your own research. Watch those YouTube videos, have a communication with your GP, surround yourself with a medical team. For me, I had to do that. I had to surround myself with a medical team, not only my GP, but now, I have the surgeon, I have a dietitian, I have a psychologist, I have a behavioral therapist. Talking about psychologists, if you watch any of my previous videos, I had a falling out with my psychologist, and I've had to switch because she was suggesting that I have my binge food, which for me was salt and vinegar chips. I don't know if you've ever been to Canada, but salt and vinegar chips is my downfall. So anyways, it was a couple of weeks after the surgery, and she was suggesting that I have a bag of it because we were talking about beating binge eating, and for me, that was it, right? Anyways, I've moved on, and you have to do the same, right? You have to think, how am I going to surround myself with a team? Come here, honey.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a video. Come. You have to surround yourself with a team of people that will help you move on and help you get to where you need to be. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We talked about my food intake, we talked about the vitamins. Let's talk about a little bit about blood test, and then we'll talk about some changes in my body and my clothes and exercise. Before we move forward, I just want to show you here. These are all a bunch of notebooks, and in every single one I write my thoughts and I write whatever's on my mind. It's like brain dump. I have one just for brain dump. I have one just about my weight loss, health journey, and I have other ones, regarding family and so forth, because it's a mental game as well, right? If you are struggling with your weight, if you're struggling with trying to lose the weight, sometimes you have to look inside of you and find out why it is that you are where you are, right? There's a reason. It took me a long time, It took me 20 some years to figure out why I depend on food so much, right? And what my triggers were. And it was a long journey, a very painful journey as well. And so for me, writing therapy is my thing. I love to write. I enjoy it. It's something I enjoy. For you, it might be videos. Like I'm doing a video right now sharing my journey. For you, maybe you want to do videos to yourself, or maybe to share on YouTube as well, to just get out the emotions, get out the mental process as well. Sometimes when you talk it out, you realize things. So I would strongly suggest, that's why I have that here. I really rely on writing therapy as well. It really helps me. It's like keeping a diary, right? Yeah, I also write books. I don't know if I've ever said that before on this channel, but those 3 books, I wrote them. And that also to me was a form of therapy. So yeah. All right, so why do I want to talk about clothes? What does that have to do with anything, right? Clothes. I work from home, so I don't really have to dress up to go to work, but I like to make a little bit of an effort sometimes, right? And now that I've lost so much weight, like all the clothes in my closet are very loose. But I don't know if I should do like a big shopping haul because I still have a lot more weight to lose. So what I ended up doing is I ended up buying some clothes online, cheap clothes, Fashion Nova, Shein, and so forth. And I just buy them, and then I don't feel bad if they don't fit anymore because I spent like $5-6 on them, right? So that's what I'm doing. Fast fashion it's not the best thing. It's not the best quality either. But in the meantime, for the process that I'm going through right now, that's what I'm doing. Also, there's secondhand used stores as well that you can go to. Just buy the essentials, right? Just whatever that you need to wear, essential for work or for home. Loungewear, I love loungewear. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. This week, I'm cleaning out my closet. I have a lot of clothes that don't fit me, and I never plan on ever wearing them again. I don't even want the option of having it in my closet. So what I did is I found a Facebook group, and they do clothing exchanges as well, or they just accept donations. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a weight loss support group. It's in my neighborhood. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them all of the clothes that I plan to ever wear again. So that's what I'm going to do with my clothes. And let's move on to what's going on with my body right now. So, when you have gastric bypass, they cut your belly. They cut it in 5 different places. I'm going to show you what my scars look like right now. All right, I'm going to be showing skin. So this is it. So I don't know if you can see it very well, but I've got 5 scars, including this one up here. I've got 5 scars. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on them. So as you can see, they're healing very well. They're still very red, and it's normal. I'm very white, so they stick out a lot. But there's no pain. There hasn't been any infection. I've taken good care of them, and right now they're just gonna heal. What I ended up buying, I bought this before my surgery, in preparation for my surgery. I bought this cream here. I bought it on Amazon. It's called the Murasaki Scar Removal Cream. And I just apply this once a day. And so far my scars have healed pretty well. And I'm hoping that by next year they'll be hardly visible. Now I don't really care about that. I didn't do this surgery for aesthetic purposes. I couldn't care less if those scars showed for life. Those scars are the reason why I am losing weight, getting healthier every day, so I'm not going to complain about it. But if you're looking for a scar removal cream, I would strongly suggest this one. It's working well on me. So again, it's called a Murasaki Scar Removal Cream, and I bought that from Amazon. So blood test. I go for blood tests every 3 months, and they check everything. They check to see if I'm nutrient deficient. They check to see if my thyroid is functioning well. They check to check my glucose. So everything so far is going well. The vitamins that I'm taking are keeping me steady. So I would strongly suggest that, once you do have gastric bypass, if you're thinking of having gastric bypass, check your blood regularly. Go for blood tests regularly. You don't have to go every 3 months, but at least go every 6 to 1 year so that you know where you're at. And lastly, I'm going to talk about exercise. I don't really exercise. It's not something that I've ever loved to do, but I do go for walks. Not when the weather is crazy like this, but I do love being in nature. I love going for walks. Even when I was in pain, I would still force myself to go for walks. And it really helps. It changes also your mind. I don't know, it's a physical exercise, but also like a mental exercise, because I go outside, I breathe in the fresh air, and it just automatically just relieves me from any stress. So I have not started exercising. I do have the approval to go exercising, but I think I'm gonna hold off on it. Until September. We're going on vacation in the month of August, so we won't be here. But when I return back from vacation in the month of September of this year, I will actually join a gym and actually go to the gym and exercise. But I do walk, and I do move a lot in my house. I have a step counter, and I try to hit 10,000 steps. I usually am more close to 7,000 steps a day, and on special occasions I do reach the 10,000 steps. I have a 3-year-old, so all I do all day is just clean up after him, right? So that's where I get my steps in. It's important though to move, so I make the effort to move and try to avoid escalators, elevators if I can. I live on a high-rise, so I do take the elevator, but sometimes I'll get off a couple of floors early just to walk it up. So that's it for me, 2 months post-op. I know this was a long video, but I just want to document my journey. I want to document it for me, so I could be proud of myself looking back. But I also want to document it for those who are struggling with their weight, because I was one of those people, and I still am one of those people. And it's nice to watch people on YouTube talk about their health journey, their weight loss journey, and get hints and help, and just to know that you're not alone. So if you've enjoyed this content, if I in any way brought you any value or any entertainment, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on TikTok, on Instagram. I really appreciate any feedback and any love and support. I need it. So hopefully you'll stick around, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.